From CRI Simple Numbers, this is Profitability Playbook, the Simple Numbers Podcast, a podcast for those who champion market growth and anchor the nation's economy, small businesses, and entrepreneurs.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Simple Numbers Profitability Playbook Podcast. I'm Mike Maxon. That's Brandon Gray.
Hey.
And it's Monday. I think it's Cinco de Mayo. All right, we had May the 4th be with you yesterday, Cinco de Mayo today. So we are rocking. Hey, what you do anything exciting this weekend?
Made a little trip up to Nashville, saw a comedian. That was
all right.
Fun. So yeah, good weekend. How about you?
Yeah, well, I was just telling everyone on here prior to us starting my house, it didn't get directly struck by lightning, but it got pretty much struck by lightning. I mean, it blew out lights, messed up the oven. I don't know how. I rent my place, so I don't know. You know, the landlord's gonna have to work some of this out, but it felt like a bomb. Yeah, it felt like a bomb. Yeah. I don't bake, so I got the Blackstone I can grill on, but the burners still work, so that's good enough. I can live with that. Well, cool. So today we're have a little bit of a fun episode today, talking about unique businesses. So whether it be by business model or just something crazy that they do that, you know, has been fun to work with, interesting to work with and learn about. We wanted to talk about that today because believe it or not, everyone who calls, Brandon, if you can believe this, everyone's unique, man. Everyone's different. But these ones are unique. So we'll talk about it. So why don't you kick us off? Give me your first unique business.
So the purpose kind of behind this too is creativity right now is a winning card when you look at the marketplace. A twist on something that you're doing something a little bit different. Because keep in mind, the market's not growing, so you've got to steal market share. So what can I do that's a little bit different? And think of your business not in what you're maybe in the business of, but rather what does your team have the skill sets to do? It can be transferable. So think creatively. That's the challenge. And as we go through a few of these, it may prompt something. If nothing else, some of these are just pretty cool to hear about. So,
oh yeah.
All right. I got a pretty good one from several years ago, a client we worked with. So they worked in major metropolitan areas, and their entire business model was built around trash. So they would contract with apartment complexes.
I do. This is my first one. I hate you already, and it's Monday. I can't believe this is my first one. This one was the best one. This is the best one.
So this one came through. You're kind of going, you do what? So they contract with apartment complexes to help reduce their dumpster fee costs. And you think, okay, well, how do you do that? Well, when you look at the setup of where dumpsters are at in complexes, a majority of people will use only a handful of dumpsters. And so you'll have a dumpster on the back of the property or one at the edge of the property or what have you that nobody's really using. And so weekly they would go by and they would take trash out of certain dumpsters that were getting full and put it into the dumpsters that weren't full. And you're going, what? And occasionally, you know, somebody throw away a couch in a dumpster or something like that. They'd take that out and carry it to the landfill. And basically what they were able to do is, let's say your complex had 8 dumpsters on it. They were able to get it down to maybe 5. And so they would get paid basically based upon the savings that you were able to achieve. And so it was a win-win, right? I mean, they made money and you got a lower dumpster fee cost because you used less of them. And they had great stories about stuff that, you know,
oh my God,
trash. And I'm like, so basically you just, you know, well, deploy these crews and they go out and they take trash out of one dumpster and put it into another. And I'm like, what? And it was a decent little business. I mean, you're never going to be $100 million doing this, but it was very creative. And, you know, the guy, it was one of those to where, as we say, there are 3 rules to business success. The first one is figure out what the market needs. You know, I mean, he's in an apartment complex. He's like, this dumpster is always full and this other one's empty. I wonder, you know? So he figured out something that was needed in the market. He figured out how to do it profitably. So once again, had a win-win when it came to the savings. And then the third thing is tell everybody about it. So once he started working with a handful of property managers, and they must, and they tell the other property managers, tell the, I go. So yeah, I like that one. Mike, you got one?
Yeah. So let me just start this off by saying I love animals. Okay. I love animals. I like them. I like them even better when they're not mine. But you know, I laugh at this stuff, and I know some of y'all are very sentimental about your pets. I like them. You give them a great life, and then they go, and I'm happy they get to go, and they get to go in great ways. A lot of times, you put them to sleep, and they're out, and you're maybe like me. For me, it's sad for like a second, and it's like I'm gonna go give another animal the best 12 years of its life. That it would, it's ridiculous how well some of these pets live. Anyways, I'm just saying that because there's a chance I make light of what I'm about to say, and I don't want to offend anybody. This is years ago, and now it's more common. But years ago, we had someone come to us, and it was pet cremation. I have a pet cremation client now that does pet cremation, but this one was different. They used water to nuke these things. It was water.
Aquafication.
And they watered them to pieces. And I didn't know this was a thing. Like I didn't. I mean, I'm talking to them when they called, and I'm like, wait, like you shoot it with water like super hard, and it chops them up. Yeah, totally thing. But here's the thing is, it was accepted and needed. Like people felt this was a much cleaner, better way. And there's all kinds of other benefits, environmental benefits. And dude, blew my mind. But same thing. There is a large market out there that thinks that's that believed in that, and they sold to it, and it worked.
And we're very profitable.
Yeah, yes, very profitable.
It was like you heard the idea and you went, really? And then, you kind of looked at it and went, this is a real legit business.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, straight up.
Yeah. And one of the things was that I don't know, and I wish I would have asked the lady that had owned it, where did that I would have never, like, put it this way, in any circle I've ever run in, like when Fido goes, like it's just here you go, and they come back in ashes, and that, like, no one even brought that up. And it was insane that she figured out that market. And I don't know if it was through just being in that world and you just catch steam. But I mean, I think the takeaway from that was again, with the creativity is, you might think something is, oh, that's not a good idea, or that might not work. I'm telling you, there's a market for it probably. and people will go for it. And that was one of the surprising ones that I've seen over the years. Pretty crazy, bro. I mean, you took the best one, but
yeah. So we did not work with this business. I just recently have heard about renting chickens. Now, if there ever was a business model that
is this in Alabama?
This is built for Alabama. I mean,
do they live down the street from you? Are they like down the street from you? No.
We've got a few chickens in Center City. Nonetheless, so you think about the issues that we're having with the shortage of eggs. And there's a big demand, obviously, for organic eggs. But the issue is that you got to have the chicken to get the egg, right? Well, not every neighborhood is suitable to have a chicken coop built in it. And you got a lot of upfront cost if you're going to build a chicken coop. We got a team member, Jack Prince. He can tell you all you need to know about being a chicken farmer. And our roots go back to Greg Crabtree, the OG chicken farming roots.
Yep.
So nonetheless, basically the model is, hey, we've got the facility. We've got the setup. We've got the workers. We've got the method. You just rent the chicken and then you can get the eggs. I'm like, okay, that's a little different. So, I guess if you really eat a lot of eggs at your house, you might want to look into renting a chicken.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to drop 3 product type businesses. Now, these obviously exist, but back to understanding the market. One of them we just started working with. First one, a company that makes products for curly haired people. Like, you got curly hair, they got you. Like,
I do not. Yeah, I mean, I'm out.
No, me too.
I mean, you're not watching. I'm bald, by the way.
Yeah, Brandon even got hair, and mine's perfect, so I don't need anything for mine. The next thing is scary T-shirts. Brandon knows this one well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You get some licensing, throw Michael Myers on T-shirts. That's a thing. And it's cool. Like, I really want one now. And
they do a phenomenal job, and their designs are unreal.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, they have a cult-like following.
Yeah.
You talk about a community that's tight, those that are in the horror movie kind of passion. I mean, they and I would say one of the sharpest entrepreneurs that I've worked with. I mean, just really finding a need in the marketplace and taking something that was kind of like an interest, turning into a business. Yep.
Is there like Ice Road Trucker T-shirts? Because I know you dig that. There's got to be people that,
Probably so. Yeah.
Yeah. The last one is this client worked with us, gaming mats. So if you're a gamer and you're sitting on your computer and you want to look down at the floor of what you're wheeling around on, there's a mat, and you can have it custom made with your own little gaming person design. People love it.
Yeah.
They love it. It works. I mean, absolutely crazy. And it's fun. And this is one thing about our job that I love, is just getting to know these businesses and it working, and them not just making money, but the people that love this stuff that's out there that does it for them. It's extremely cool. But the creativity behind it and them going for the markets is pretty cool, how they've identified that and went for it.
Yeah. I've got 3 here that we'll do quick hit as well. So one is a client we've been working with. They are a concierge for home services. So you pay a monthly subscription, and when something happens in your house, like it gets hit by lightning, Mike, you just call them and they take care of it.
Oh.
So, the whole thing of, well, I got to meet somebody at 9, they show up at 11, and now
It's the worst.
or who do I call to do this, or yada yada. You just call them, and they have vetted. If they use a third-party subcontractor, they have vetted them. They've got an internal team as well that can go out and do the repair or the maintenance. And it's one invoice. It's really simple. And so I was like, that's really neat. So I got a good friend, and he said, I think about selling my house. I'm tired of home repairs. I'm tired of having to call contractors and meet contractors, and they not show up and reschedule. And then, what we thought was going to be, I needed to take an afternoon off of work because somebody's going to be at the house doing work. Now I got to take 2 days off. I did just the whole issue there. They solved that problem. So I thought that was really good. Another one that all of us would have encountered, but you probably haven't thought a lot about it: repair of dental handsets.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. So as they're using the different tools and what have you, well, they are going to break, and sometimes buying new ones are really expensive. So you can ship them off to this company, and they will repair the handset, or if it's past repair, they'll sell you a new one. And it's one of those necessity businesses that you just don't think a lot about needing, but it's out there, and they did really, really well. It's needed. So a little bit unique. And then the third one, Mike, you might have this one on your list: inflatables for trade shows.
Yep. Medical ones.
Yeah. So another one of those things that when you're at a trade show, somebody had to design and sell or rent all of those things that are set up. And
yeah, the one person I worked with, so you would go to these medical events, and there would be like a heart, and you could walk through it, check it out, and it'd be big and blown up. That's patented and created by someone. and made, I mean, unique as can be. I mean, so you go to these things and there's, you know, veins over there, valves, like blow up veins you walk through and see the inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all made. I mean, just crazy. Man, we missed the boat on something. You know, all those crazy ideas I had that, like, okay, so check this out real quick. I wanted it. Now, you know what? I'm not going to say it. We have too many people listening to this call. It still might be able to work. I just talked myself out of it. You know what? I'm not bringing that up right now.
I've got one more. So this one's pretty cool, I think. So it was a company that did youth camps for hockey, like in the summer, you know, like, you know, skills camps, skating camps, that kind of stuff. And so, you know, they're pretty busy in the summer. And what they started to realize is the direction the sport was going is that top tier hockey athletes, much different than a lot of the other sports. I mean, you may get drafted right out of high school, most likely, if you're really good. And so the whole travel hockey scene is really big. And Jack Prince, we mentioned earlier, Jack came over from England to play hockey in the US at 13. So it's an international thing as well. So what they started to realize is for those top shelf hockey players, there was a need for them to have virtual schools. And so they started creating schools for hockey players so that, you know, some had physical locations, but the majority were virtual. They may be part of one of these really high profile hockey teams that for high school kids, and they needed to train a lot, obviously. So, you know, they may train and they would all attend a virtual school together and then, you know, have the practice. And so they can travel and what have you too. So they took what an existing model was and they saw a future need that was starting to emerge and added another layer to it.
Man, that's awesome. Why do we do this? I think this was just a fun one for me and you to BS about.
Yeah,
some unique business.
You know, we get asked that, you know, several times. What's the most interesting business you've worked with or cool business and what have you? Like I said, I mean, these are fun to talk about. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to take away, what can I do that leverages the resources and the capital that I'm currently deploying? Mm-hmm. So years ago, we had a client that delivered the respiratory devices. So whether it was CPAP machines or oxygen or what have you there for home respiratory use. And he said, you know, we kind of think of ourselves as a respiratory company, but at the end of the day, we're really good at taking something that's fairly complex, which is the prescription process and dealing with insurances, scheduling a time for a patient or homeowner to then deliver them equipment. And you can do that with anything, right? And so whether or not that they could have done it with the home maintenance thing that we talked about, even though we're respiratory, because it's the same business model. It's just a different line of service. So think creatively about your business, what you can do differently, perhaps. And hey, that crazy idea you have may not be too crazy after all.
Yeah, the companies that are winning that I work with continue to innovate. That either tweaking that offering, adding a new offering, scrapping the one that they've been using for a while, and you know, bringing something totally different to the scene. Obviously, maybe built around a lot of what they know and do, but constantly on the forefront of maneuvering around the market with that. And and so right now, we talk about it being a street fight economy, being a little rough out there with the market, people still do want to spend money. People do still have needs for things. And you know, you just gotta find it and go with it. But giving people options, adding on, if you look at one of our value builders, having those services that you can add on to, that you can replace, things like that, or products, not just services, products too, is what makes you valuable. And so even sort of that, the PE world, the buy sell world values your ability to change it up.
Definitely.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, thanks for joining us today. Yeah, a little bit of a fun episode, and you know, we're doing these weekly, so we're going to come back with something probably a little more robust next time. But we wanted to get this out there because we get asked it a lot, and it was fun to talk today, man. So, everyone, take care, and we'll see you in a week.
Later.
If you want to know more about driving sustainable profitability for your business, or are interested in learning more about CRI Simple Numbers, please visit our website at simplenumberscri.com. Thanks for listening to this episode of Profitability Playbook, the Simple Numbers Podcast. You can subscribe to Profitability Playbook on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you prefer to listen to podcasts. If you liked what you heard today, please leave us a review. The views expressed on Profitability Playbook, the Simple Numbers Podcast, are those of the presenter and moderator and do not necessarily reflect the views of CRI Simple Numbers or the CRI family of companies. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice received directly. Consult with your CRI Simple Numbers advisor or another trusted professional if you have questions about your specific situation.